Hello and welcome to another episode of Good Brews, Bad Views, the podcast that asks if good beers make bad movies any better. I'm your host, Max Nestorowicz, and as always, joined by my two co-hosts who I cannot give any power in introducing themselves to. One James Thorpe.
Hello.
And one Ryan Everhart.
Also hello.
How are you guys doing today with your limited power?
Well, dreading the impending snow doom that's about to befall us all, but I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm just dreading this movie.
Well, I didn't hate it.
Right.
Well, I mean,
It could have been better, it could have been worse, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the episode. Beer's good, movie's bad.
Yeah.
Next. Okay.
All right,
But
nice.
no.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks for joining.
Today we are watching the obviously early 2000s Evolution, starring one David Duchovny and Orlando Jones, and unfortunately featuring one Sean William Scott.
Yes. Also, who's the female lead?
I can't
Julianne
remember.
Moore.
Julianne Moore. Thank you.
Yes.
I always remember her from 30 Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's super thick Boston,
Boston
accent.
accent,
Jack Donaghy.
Yeah.
Right?
So yes,
Anyway.
Evolution. We're watching this on Amazon today.
Yep.
Freely available if you have Prime.
Mhm,
Yay,
mhm.
Prime. They've
Really?
gotten a really good selection of schlock lately.
Yes,
Yes.
they do.
So good. Like,
Are-
they're just like, let's just raid Canon's film library.
Yeah.
So, look forward to those episodes in the
Mhm.
future.
Thanks, Jeff Bezos.
So, if you're watching along with us, or if this is your first time, we are 20 seconds into the movie on Amazon. The DreamWorks logo has just appeared on screen.
In full.
In full, yes, in full. The last note of the guitar, I think, has just played.
Yep.
Mhm.
So how this will work is we are going to watch this movie, drink some beer, make some observations about the quality of this film, and hopefully have a good time.
Yeah, it's
Learn something
basically
about
90
ourselves.
minutes of us not being funny.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, it's going to be 110 minutes of us not being funny.
No,
I'm just going to shut him off now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because his math was also off.
I'm adding 10 minutes for the intro.
I figured as much after I was going to say something.
Ha! You're wrong.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're watching along, 20 seconds in, hit play.
Now.
So the way you know this is a DreamWorks movie is that it presents a really, really interesting concept and doesn't execute
And
it at
executes
all.
terribly?
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, it's that church from
So
Dark
are
Souls
they-
1.
They're like the lions of cinema? Is that what's happening? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
They
Sorry, that
build
might
you
be-
up
that
just
might-
to let you down enough. No, everyone knows how bad the Lions are.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No, DreamWorks has a better record than the Lions.
That's true.
They do.
They have won things.
Right. I don't know why. This is very stupid, but I hate this font. It just irritates me, and I have no explanation for it.
The
Yeah,
faux papyrus font.
It's weird.
So, Ivan Reitman,
Yeah, a lot of like legendary stuff behind this guy.
Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
Stripes, Animal House,
Meatballs.
and this.
I would like to point out that this movie would be immeasurably better if you replaced anyone except Julianne Moore with Bill Murray.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Totally.
So it looks like the asteroid was flying past a planet made of fudge,
Yes.
but the CG on the
I want to go
asteroid
to
didn't
there.
start off badly.
That still doesn't look bad to me.
Yeah.
Overall, the movie's effects aren't bad. There are a few spots that are definitely cringeworthy, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
It holds
that's
up.
more of limitations of technology at the time.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of good practical effects in this, I would say.
yeah,
it holds up pretty well.
there's some really bad green screening
Sean
spots.
William Scott.
Yeah.
Last scene in
Goon
Where's
and
My
Goon
Car?
2.
Hmm?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. On the
I was
podcast.
going by this podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast
There-
canon, Ryan.
there are
Podcast
no-
canon.
There are no other timelines. I get it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Stops.
Thank you.
We watch with subtitles.
Yes.
Some of us are literate.
Mm.
So I don't dislike Orlando Jones's acting in this movie. Actually,
No, I think he does a great job with what he has, but we'll get to him when we get to him.
This is a
Now we have
great.
to suffer through this opening scene.
It's a great what the fuck is happening kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope to God he's not the fireman who showed up at my house one day.
I like the laughing to himself.
Yeah.
Kind of like it's just literally just a guy who has no idea what he actually should or shouldn't be doing out here.
Yeah. So
And the fire brigade. Do you think he does that like every time he like lights a candle?
yeah.
It's got to be.
Go stunt double.
I mean,
the idea that you actually have to yell for people that you're here to save them is a great idea too.
Horrifying mannequin.
Yes.
It's like a weird, like, why would it squeak like that?
It's a chest compression thing.
Is it supposed to do that? I don't know.
Yeah, when you go to like a first aid class or whatever,
Yeah,
like
I took one.
The chest kind of clicks to let you push down.
It doesn't make a dog squeaky.
Well, no, but it's more humorous for the thing on hand.
We're too dumb as the audience to know what he's trying to do. We need a squeaky noise.
Do you think he was just thrilled that for once in his life he got to do the cool runway from an explosion?
Oh, I bet he was, actually.
Except he looked backwards, so
Yeah.
that's why he eats it, and so does his car.
So this is
Good car flip, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're driving around in Michigan, you're used to seeing cars do that just from potholes.
Yeah. And there's a Michigan pothole.
Exactly. That's how they form.
Which is one of the worst effects in this movie, actually. That looks
yeah,
awful.
I didn't look
great.
Yeah, I wasn't noticing too closely last time I watched this.
Yeah, Sean William Scott, one of the most painfully typecast people in Hollywood for a long time, right?
Yeah.
He's just dumb idiot, man. Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Yep.
Bad font.
Bad font evolution.
So do you think the police think this was arson or cartel cleanup?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, those are two the same thing.
Yes.
You know what this font actually reminds me of? Is a really bad version of the font from BioShock.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I've seen this tall,
I
thin
agree.
font. It's a very Art Deco-y,
Yep.
20s kind of. It might have been in the It's in the opening credits of Batman Returns.
Oh, God.
Oh. Ugh.
Sign of quality.
Yeah.
You leave that movie alone.
Oh, wait. You said Batman Returns.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I heard one
Batman
of the
Forever.
terrible fucking ones we watched.
Which one?
Yeah, exactly.
This is the sign of a broken teacher.
So this is our second movie with Ethan Suplee in it.
Yes.
And he has lost a ton of weight between this movie and The Trust.
Yes, he had.
Good
I
on
think
you,
this
Ethan.
is still when he was in Church Scientology.
Hmm.
I think he still is. I don't know about that.
Now, I will fully admit, is it left or right for Ethan Suplee?
Left.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because he also plays a very large person in
American History X.
and Varsity Blues.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yep.
And Remember the Titans.
Yes. Is he in Varsity Blues then?
I've never seen the movie, so I don't know.
He might not, that might not be him. I mean, he's in a football movie.
He is he's in Remember the Titans. He is the
we have the
one.
technology.
I think he's the one white kid who's like, I don't care if there's a desegregated football team. I'm just coming to play football.
Yep. Yeah, because he's not from the region or something like that. Like he shows up or whatever. They move in.
I don't
Let's
know.
talk about a good movie. Let's talk about Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
This movie.
We watched that in history class in 11th grade.
David Duchovny.
Yep.
Shut up, donkey lips. So just totally uninterested, mildly frosted tipped David Duchovny for this movie. The joke is he's in a TV show that has to do with aliens, you guys.
Mm-hmm. Has X-Files ended by now?
Well, they didn't they do a reboot, and aren't they trying
They did
to
a
continue
second.
that?
They just had their second reboot, I feel like.
Hmm.
But I'm trying to. I can't remember if this is before or after the movie. The first movie comes out.
It's after as far as the reboot. Is that what you're asking?
No, this is more of the question of was the original series still going on, which we could also figure out with our
when this movie
space
came out?
machines. Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. But here we have one Orlando Jones, not a professor, but some kind of geologist,
Right.
adjunct professor.
I believe he is an adjunct professor.
I wasn't sure if that was the correct term, is what I was kind of going for.
Yeah.
Because they refer to him as Mr. whatever his character's last name is.
Oh, this joke.
Oh,
this is a good
God.
joke.
They hired him for Californication. That line right there.
Yep.
That's what got him. Orlando Jones is a very watchable person.
He's got a lot of good facial expressions and just good structure.
Yeah.
Or just like how he presents himself and his poses.
For a guy who got famous off 7-Up commercials, you know.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that. So, James, you've spent some
I
time
was
in
wrong.
Arizona.
He is not in Varsity Blues. He is in Remember the Titans.
Okay, yeah.
And I honestly, Ryan, seeing him having lost weight, I didn't recognize that was the same guy at all.
Oh, I know. That's a ton of weight.
Yeah,
It's a lot. It's a lot of
weight.
weight. But, James, you've spent some time in Arizona, correct?
Yes, I've been through Arizona. If you're about to ask me about my archaeological dig, that was in New Mexico.
Oh, yes. I wasn't sure. I knew it was somewhere in the Southwest.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you have any experience of the Southwest?
Nah.
I remember I was in 8th grade and we had pen pals at a school in Arizona.
Huh.
And that is the extent of my experience with the area.
It is a very pretty region.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Force majeure is like the coolest engineering term I ever have to deal with.
Yeah.
Which really just means like things are fucked as far as the supply chain goes.
Yeah.
Sorry, a hurricane took out our plants, so we're gonna raise your price on. But
I'm gonna say swear words.
Yeah. So I want to talk just briefly. I want to make mention of a movie with Sean William Scott that I enjoyed very much. The Rundown, also with The Rock, which we probably talked about on the Hercules episode.
Probably.
So sorry for repeating myself, but just a ton of fun. If you get a chance, watch it.
that was many episodes ago, Ryan.
It
It's
was.
okay. 30 plus.
Yeah. Dang, dog.
Yep. So this is a scene that features Orlando Jones and a cardboard cutout of David Duchovny.
Right.
That's most of this movie.
Yes, he just doesn't act at all.
And I can't tell if it's just supposed to be him so disgruntled about, parting ways with his government job. I don't know, but
Spoilers.
whatever the intent was, it's just not engaging.
No.
Well, I feel like he's been like blacklisted until this is like the only job he can find.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear.
So he's just like, fuck my life.
Yep.
But
hey, and so we now meet the characters in the movie that are the inspiration for our beer today.
yes, what are we drinking today, James?
Good segue.
We are drinking Super Trooper Brown Ale from Petoskey Brewing Company, which is a brown ale that is flavored like coffee and donuts.
Yes. Longtime listeners of the show will recognize that we had Cranium Crush from Petoskey on our episode on Deep Rising.
Yep.
Yes.
But here we have our defunct cops.
Yep.
Eagle-eyed movie nerds will recognize the pudgy man as Kyle Gass from Tenacious D.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's KG.
It's Cage, man.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of just like people from other movies in
Yes.
this movie.
Yes.
Or things you recognize from the people. But
If you could just open the science case there, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. The meteor apparently gives off dry ice.
Yes. It's still hot.
Yep.
It's hot ice.
and then the direction for David Duchovny is just stare blankly with mouth agape.
Yeah.
Right. You're peculiar.
I do like that they actually make him a competent scientist through all
Well,
of this.
yeah.
I mean,
Him being Orlando or David Duchovny?
both.
Both of them in their own way.
Both of them in their own
Yeah,
ways. Like,
and I like that. I
Yeah.
like that there was. They both showed. I'm just repeating what you were saying.
Yeah.
yeah, but they do it differently.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Orlando Jones is more reflexive
Yeah.
in a way. Like he's actually trying to learn and do the things that he's doing, so he just kind of does them naturally.
Mhm.
Whereas,
Like, oh,
yeah,
poke, take some rocks.
It's more rehearsed and
Duchovny,
practiced, right?
Yeah, where he's trying to impress people with what he knows, which fits
Right.
with his character more. Whereas later on in the movie, we'll see Orlando Jones's character basically describe the entirety of the geologic structure of the landscape they're looking at, but he does it without sounding like
Without
arrogant
condescension,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. In old Call of Cthulhu rules, it would be high int, low education.
Oh boy. I actually didn't watch when I watched this the other day. I wasn't keeping my eyes peeled for any cans of 7-Up. I don't think I saw any. Interestingly,
This movie does have very odd product placement.
well, most of the story hinges on Head and Shoulders. Spoilers.
Well, yeah, but like later you see people drinking beer and they're drinking Sam Adams. Not just
really?
like generic-y beer, like labeled, you can make out the label, Sam Adams beer.
Huh.
So,
The M is silent. It's just Saddam's beer.
Adams. Saddam's.
Look, it's your local. They also have a product placement of your local Chinese place.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you see that that container?
Mm-hmm.
And Zeiss, that's an actual microscope brand.
Science.
Oh God,
She blinded me.
it's a petri dish full of those sticky hands. From
From the quarter machine. You know, as far as entertainment value per cost, it's pretty high up there, actually.
Yeah. Yep. So
Also,
back to this beer while we're looking at petri dishes.
Sure.
Yeah.
So this is a nice brown ale. It's got coffee in it, which is kind of the new trend as far as brown ales go, to give them a little bit more body, a little more flavor, rather than just being burnt brown water.
Yeah.
I mean, I like burnt brown water, but...
And you know, it says donuts on there, and it's interesting because it's a super subtle kind of sweetness.
Yeah, it's the sweetness of sprinkles.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I get.
And it's not strong.
No.
It's
Yeah.
really not.
You have to
And,
get
it, and it's on the back, and it's,
Yeah.
not offensive.
Yeah, I've gotten this beer before on tap. I like it. I like this one a lot, actually.
Yeah. I love this scene.
Yeah.
When he just starts screaming at them. Like, he just loses his mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like
Good coaching.
Yeah.
So, with goings on in sports and ladies recently, I like very much that his character is just clearly involved in the sport, and he's
Yeah.
not just the creepy guy coaching the girls' volleyball team.
Although
you
he
know?
is creepy later.
He is a creepy guy. He was
Yeah.
hitting up on that girl.
He is later.
Yeah.
He says something about it later. But
Yeah.
yeah, in this scene, it's pretty
Yeah.
funny. He's just like
Yeah,
screaming
he's
about
100% on the sport.
the sport. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I
His mouth didn't even move when he said that. Very
Really,
Yeah, I guess it's not that hard.
It's not.
Yeah.
You just clench your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong door.
Right. I hope that's just a cut. Like they just left it in there, like he aired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
No, yeah, fuck it.
door.
Obviously, different set.
Is this supposed to be the same day?
Yes.
Because it was dark in the other scene. I don't know if that's because he turned
Was
all
it
the lights
dark?
off, but it seemed like it was darker outside.
It's
It's lights from the quad. I don't know.
And
I
it
guess
also would be weird that
it's-
they'd have a volleyball game at like 4 in the afternoon.
I don't know that it's that weird.
It's weird because this movie takes place in like November, apparently, because everyone's like wearing winter jackets,
Yeah,
which I know it gets cold in Arizona, allegedly,
it does.
but it's not
Yes.
a particular climate that I expect.
It gets very cold there. In fact,
Yeah.
you'll get frost all the time. If there's no cloud cover, the desert holds 0 heat, so it'll go from like 100 during the day to 25 at night.
Thank you for explaining the what do you call it? The desert biome,
Yep.
Mr. Thorpe.
Huh? Oh, are we gonna get a title plug?
Yeah.
Look at that giant squash over there.
Maybe was David Duchovny having like serious dental work done during this movie? Maybe that's why his mouth doesn't move and he sounds all mumbly.
He looks kind of puffed up. Maybe he had wisdom teeth pulled.
At least he's acting in this scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's trying.
Yeah. It's for me. It's very hard to see David Duchovny in something that's not X-Files or Twin
Or the
Peaks.
hand model in Zoolander.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Darn, could have been Clancy Brown. Oh well,
Yep.
maybe next time.
I feel bad for his
Yeah.
character here.
There's a fair amount of empathy built for this character.
Yeah. Although it's at times his entire his entire character just feels like it's really just stapled on to the main plot. Like
I agree.
he's not needed
No, he's not necessary at all.
until like he brings them the thing later.
Yeah, it's probably a shoehorn thing. Still riding high in the popularity of American Pie kind of thing.
Well, yeah, and they want to get to it. They want to get to a younger demographic as
Yeah.
opposed if they just had David Duchovny and
7-Up Man.
Jones. So
it's just so sad.
Yeah,
it's like the man holding the
The
Max
bed?
on top of his car.
Yeah.
With single hands. Like, I got it.
I gotta give it to these guys for managing to find a school bus for
Community college,
students.
Yeah.
I also like that you can clearly see that the community college
It's
is
just a sticker.
Is a sticker that's a different color than the rest.
Look
of
at
the
how
bus.
big he is.
He
He's
is
a
a
big
large
guy.
man.
That's just a bad
Yep.
purple sweater for Dave.
Yep. Not a good color combination. Well, the gray goes with the purple sweater, but that pink plaid, that blue plaid nonsense, no.
So, on the topic of evolution, I actually really wanted to watch Orlando Jones's career evolve into something more than it did. Like, he's in, 3 movies. I know this is one of them. He's in some other movie with Eddie Griffin. I forget the name. But I like him. I wanted to see more of him in Hollywood, and it's just never happened. He was actually on Facebook for a while. Like, the Ice Bucket Challenge was, remember when that was a thing?
Yeah.
Like, he said,
I
yeah,
got
I'm going
Jordan
to
to
do
do
it.
that.
Yeah. And, Orlando Jones has the bucket, and he turns it upside down, and he pours bullet casings over himself. And he's like, no.
Ooh.
He's like, yeah, I'm just going to donate money to ALS causes. And he gets into a thing just about, street violence, and it was actually pretty deep.
Yeah.
And that was fairly recent. That was kind of cool of him. But yeah, I
Bullet
really wanted to
casings.
see
Wow,
more.
That hurt. They look pretty
Wait,
delicious.
was that John Cho? Is that what his name is? From fucking Harold and Kumar?
Oh, wow.
About to find out.
That would be a deep cut.
Harold and Kumar movies are so fucking funny.
They're good.
Yes. One of them was actually filmed around here.
Oh, really?
Yep. I think it was the third one at the mall, at Somerset Mall.
Yeah.
The third one is the weakest in a good series.
Yeah.
All still good.
Part of me is like, you are not wearing the proper footwear for this kind of
Right.
Yeah, they
cave
should.
expeditions.
Yep. No, you can't spelunk in heels. I mean, maybe you could.
Maybe you could, but
Not effectively.
You should.
You shouldn't.
So that looks really good.
Yeah.
I think that looks great still.
Yeah.
The,
It wasn't until I focused my eyes on the individual worms that I'm like,
It
okay, they
doesn't
don't
look
look
great
that
when they
good.
go on people.
Yeah.
No, you can, but like that
That
initial
looks fine,
reveal.
yeah.
That looks fine. Yeah, the initial reveal looks great.
Yep.
This
I think they're a little too. There's too much height difference between the two of them to be brothers. I think.
Eh.
my brother's the fucking 7 inches taller than me.
But I think I don't know if they're supposed to be twins or not because of the they're in the same class or whatever. But I don't know.
That's a really, really, really huge jump to take. Right there.
Yeah. I mean, not real. You could argue both ways.
Once you did this test, I'd be completely cool with him.
He's testing the theory.
making that theory, but
I mean, you saw the stone giving off gas, and then they pulled it out of the gas, and it dies. So, like, there's some interesting science deductions, or some of it's not. I don't think works, but
I will say this. I do appreciate that this movie knows what it is and doesn't spend a whole lot of time trying to explain the science about it.
Yeah, there's not.
Yeah.
It hand waves a lot of stuff,
Right.
and
And
I'm completely cool with that.
yeah. And I first saw this movie in like 2002, or I was like 11, 12 years old or whatever, and I thought, like, I knew enough that I was like, oh, these are some actual science terms, but knew that like this was like, okay, yeah, you're glossing over a lot of
Sure, yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, and that's fine for a movie like this, because I would fear that if this movie came out now, in today's
yeah.
climate,
Oh, you'd have so much science
they'd
shoehorned
spend-
into it.
Yeah, they'd spend 10 minutes explaining how the atmosphere gets generated.
Yeah, it's like, well, the rock is giving off
Yeah,
blah,
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 Like, I
blah,
don't
blah,
care.
Blah, 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 blah.
Show me aliens.
Yes.
And then see, it keeps replicating itself.
Yeah.
Angriest pool boy ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Wayne.
Yeah, that voice, man. Oh.
I can't tell if this was supposed to be sarcasm. Yeah, Wayne. Wayne.
The dampness in my shirt. At first I thought he was like, this is a non-standard towel for this or whatever, but then it's just like, this towel is wet on my chair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a damp tushy.
I almost smudged my monocle. That's the sound of me pouring more beer. I wonder if that comes through. We're going to find out when I pour it by the microphone. Yeah, probably not.
Yep.
That's your reaction?
Yeah.
Yep.
To a horde of insects coming in through the ground?
Yeah. Not. Oh God.
Yeah. Just quick side note. Playing Resident Evil 7 in VR has some of the most convincing insects that it truly grossed me out a couple of times, and they're crawling by your face. Just amazing detail.
So a quick question for you guys in this upcoming little thing right here. You see this weird little thingamajig.
Let's kill it.
Yeah.
Carve it for its skin.
That the beastie we see later in the movie?
I don't know.
The one on the golf course?
Yes.
I think so.
I honestly expect him to have run to the pool and had to have gotten people out of the pool when that happened.
Yeah. Like I was thinking, like, oh, I lost the toe.
Yeah,
or something
I
like
thought
that
was gonna
happens.
happen. But yeah, I think there's a good chance that that's the same thing.
Yeah. It's also very interesting that like that's the first time you see it beyond like the little flatworm
Yeah.
to like a thing, which
Yeah.
insinuates that there's something in the water that's making it grow.
Yeah.
That's one of the hand wavy kind of things. Or,
Yeah.
Oh God, it's the actual USGS.
Ah, crap.
Yeah.
Oh look, actual Arizona plates as opposed to whatever the hell was going on and Get Even with their flag.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't see smug assholes anywhere on the list.
Yeah.
What constitutional rights is he referring to there? But I don't know.
Freedom of, well, you have freedom of movement in the United States for the most part.
Yeah.
There's something that maybe you guys can fill me in.
You gotta know how to
later.
talk to the white man. Well, sorry, Ryan. Please go
No,
ahead.
totally cool. This guy. Why is this guy so pissed off?
He's the guy. He's one of the guys who got experimented on.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he keeps going through the side effects of like
I just thought
anal
okay.
leakage.
Right. No, you're right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Worst month of my life. Yeah.
Back to my super.
Yeah.
Those big eyes of his.
Thought he said man tent.
Well, I mean, it
Man
could be.
tent.
Which is like Axe Body Spray's new tent line for men.
Do you think that they feel inferior with their smaller Jeep around those Hummers?
Oh, certainly.
They don't
Well,
feel
Jeeps
like
are marketed toward women.
so.
Dun.
This soundtrack on loan from Starship Troopers.
I think that's the problem with this movie is that I would like to know more.
Yeah. Would you like to know more?
Oh no, they would let you know way too much.
Is there a 15-year-old man running around in an army suit? Fucking Ted Levine.
Yep.
Yeah.
What a cool voice.
Yeah. I know I've seen him in something else, but
Monk.
I've never seen Monk.
Oh, well, obviously Silence of the Lambs, but
That's what it is.
Buffalo Bill.
Yep.
Was he one of the generals from one of the 3 different Hulk movies?
I don't remember that,
He could
but
play
I
a good
can't say
Thunderbolt
no.
Ross.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's an interesting question. And then a young Ty Burrell. I don't know how to say it.
3 Hulk movies.
There are 3 Hulk movies.
Wait,
No, there's not.
no, there's 2. Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And a lot-
there's
just
the
a lot of
Sulk,
Lou
and there's-
Ferrignos.
and then there's the Ed
There's-
Norton one.
So this is a really weird tick they give her character.
Just being a fucking
Oh,
klutz.
that she's always tripping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. In my case, I do find it slightly more endearing.
That she's clumsy?
That she's just a klutz. I don't know.
That's a weird interlude they do when she falls over too, right there.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's weird because it doesn't ever pay off. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not saying that it should have paid off, but I'm saying that if you put, I guess I am actually. I'm gonna say it should have paid off. If you put that comment in the movie, you'd expect her to like show up in something slinky,
yeah, like a dress later or something.
Yeah.
But she's always very covered up, but everyone is in this movie.
Right.
I mean,
I'm not saying I want that. I'm saying that should have been removed if there's no
payoff
for it, because it just feels out of place to me.
There's very little that would suggest that David Duchovny is attracted
Jesus
to her.
Christ.
Yeah.
There's like
outside of him being like, I am attracted to her.
I have penis, you have vagina.
Yeah. I like the guys just being army guys in the background.
Yep,
too.
just
Like,
pushing buttons,
like, what is
jotting
that?
down notes.
What is that?
There's a phone on
dish
there.
supposed to be doing right there?
Scanning,
Signals.
Yeah.
Aliens, dog.
aligning.
Ooh, he doesn't believe you.
Ooh, yeah.
Buffalo Bill ain't buying it.
You deserve to be in the hole.
He just
Yeah.
does not look present. And Ted
Oh.
Levine is totally into it, man.
You know why I'm thinking that there's the 3 Hulk movies? Because of Secretary of Defense Ross from Civil War.
Oh yeah.
okay.
I was thinking of 3 movies upon which there is a Thunderbolt Ross in.
Mm.
I like that turnaround. Would you stop following me, please?
Yeah.
Look at that pressed ham.
Yeah,
You're doing the fruit basket wrong, David Duchovny.
right.
If you're gonna yell fruit basket, you got to do it.
Weird side note again for people that are in the movies we are watching. I watched Don John with Joseph Gordon-Levitt
Oh,
and
okay.
Julianne Moore. I really like that movie. Recommended.
Is it
Scarlett
Johansson in
Johansson?
that too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tony Danza.
Oh, Tony Danza's in that movie.
Yes, it's good. I liked it.
Okay.
Brings up some
Your
interesting
Majesty.
questions.
So
Smack.
So this is weird because there are no lawyers in this room.
There are.
Like, is she? Because he's not a lawyer. Theoretically, she could be a lawyer.
Yeah, I like that pull of the judge being like, I went to that
Right.
school.
Yeah,
It's a role I don't expect from a small town judge.
yeah. But like, neither one of those guys is a lawyer. So I
There's
assume
some
there
suits back there,
are
but
no lawyers in
Yeah.
this room, which is strange.
I don't know. Maybe just they're having a hearing. I don't know how that. We need to call Randy about this.
Yeah.
Someone should have had a lawyer in this room. Apparently, these two, because they get their butts handed to them by her.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she acts like she has a legal degree, so
Yeah.
we can extend that. I'm willing to believe that she has a legal or a law degree.
I have a friend who has a biochemistry degree who does work for the NIH who is now going to law school. So
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
completely understandable. Oh, the vaccine.
Yeah,
I guess he's just like, well, I don't want to talk about
Yeah.
this.
Sore subject.
See, were he a better guy, he'd be like, I plead the fifth.
Mm. This is, I don't know. This makes me like him a lot less.
his
This
character.
scene, yeah.
Yeah,
the judge just being like, just spill it.
yeah.
Then he gets into the meat of most pharmaceutical commercials today.
Yeah.
Do your elbows itch? Well, take this medicine. Side effects may include losing arms, pooping
And
all the time.
Loss of knees.
Yeah. Fifth
Conjunctivitis.
eyeball. Conjunctivitis. Rickets.
Bonitis.
Bonitis.
Whooping cough.
If he would
Bonitis stage 2.
yeah, if he would have shown more contrition here, I think you probably would have stayed with his character.
Mhm.
Like, I feel really bad about this, and I'm sad my career is over.
Plus 15
He
for
tries
use
to
of
show
contrition.
it right there, but
Yeah. Harry's just like, oh, the Kane madness.
yeah.
Oh my God, it's Kane! By God, he has split him in half.
Shit.
What is that mural of behind them?
Yeah, this is fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this looks like a different office than when we were in here earlier. Yeah, maybe not.
Nope, it's the same office.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it was all light in there. He had all of his lab lights on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm okay with that then.
Yeah, we don't keep track of the spatial visualization of Glendale College. Bump, bump,
That's a
bump,
good computer system. You enter a passcode and
bump.
it searches for files.
Yes.
Yeah, Diet Coke, cool stuff, Pop-Tarts.
They took all of our science, man. Oh, not the JPEG files. And I'm the cops in a different thing.
Yeah. The running is great.
Yeah.
With the hands
Just
out.
Like a hand jive.
Yeah. Well, he's just trying to show off his beautiful hands.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
He does in Zoolander.
They're gorgeous. Burn. Mm-hmm. True.
James, do you know if that's true? Do you get 5 years for impersonating an officer?
I honestly don't know. I know that they tried to put a law in place that says you couldn't
Stop it.
display medals that you actually didn't earn. It was like
Yeah,
a stolen valor law.
valor stealing.
Yeah, and that law actually got knocked down as unconstitutional.
Huh.
Really?
I believe so.
Huh.
So I don't know if it's something very specific, like showing up to a military base and pretending that you're in the military is what he's going for, because you can just go to a surplus store and buy uniforms.
Yes.
You shouldn't at all. But yeah, I'm not really. I don't know.
Good air in, bad air out.
That jacket fits terribly on David Duchovny.
It's like the waist is weird, I think.
It looks like he went to a surplus store and bought it.
Was it the sleeves you don't like?
Too big in the chest. I don't know. And
Don't
then
look at her. Don't look at her.
that's 1 o'clock.
Oh, that was also totally his 9 o'clock. Well, I guess it's 6 in that case.
I do like that. I like that. That one was a menace.
I'm just taking down some food processors.
I remember when I saw this movie in the theater, a scene coming up here is one of the few times that I actually genuinely laughed at this movie.
You and I saw this together.
I'm pretty sure we did, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
This
oh,
one.
was it this? Like, I can tell it's the dancing.
It did crack me up.
I want a pants crier. Just
See,
Yeah.
Cryer has his birth control glasses on.
He looks like you get lunch money every time you hit him.
shake him and just quarters fall out.
I do appreciate that. It's
Man,
clear
press
that-
button, open door.
Yeah, it's it's clear that he knows what these systems are. Like, he's familiar with them because he's been working with the military before. Although Orlando Jones just yanking on the handle is great too.
So now we get to see some of the creature and set design of this movie, which I think early on they do very, very good with the creature design.
Right. This shot right here to me is kind of, I like it a lot, but it's kind of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory-ish a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
And I think this is what you and I, remembering back, this is the movie you and I wanted.
Right.
Was all these really cool creature designs and neat ideas, and they don't.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
Especially because these are all practical.
Yeah.
Right.
I wish they would have done way more with a lot of this stuff because
Yeah.
it's so cool.
Mhm.
They do such a neat job with the way they design stuff. Like, even this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing Spore. Remember
Yeah.
that game?
Yep.
And
Just
honestly,
make monsters.
Yep.
that doesn't look bad still.
No. That does.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the smaller stuff looks good. Yeah.
That's how ecosystems work, David Duchovny.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like very, very small bugs from Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Apparently they're cannibals as well.
Don't get too excited, David. Yeah, that's funny.
Quick question.
Yo,
If this movie were to be made today,
Yeah.
who would you cast in the two main leads? Okay, I'll say main three, because you can have Allison as well.
I'm actually gonna say Anthony Mackie for Orlando Jones.
Okay.
David Duchovny's character. That's a good question. John Hamm. Julianne Moore's character. I don't know. Let me get back to you on that one. No one, hopefully, you gross ass bastard.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, well, let's remind you who Dr. Reed is, folks.
I'd forgotten what her name was.
That's what that cut is right
Yeah.
there.
I fell off my rocking horse.
These two men, they took my calculator watch and they took it down with them into the hole.
I really like Julianne Moore, though.
Yeah, I do too.
Take a look in a book. Imagination.
Two guys giggling in the background over what they're saying.
I also like
Possessed by a ghost.
Yeah.
stop
David-
doing it. Like, just like this. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
David Duchovny's acting comes through way better when he's on a TV screen.
Interesting.
He plays a very good transgender woman in Twin Peaks.
Mm.
I think it was actually his first role on TV.
So season 1 of Twin Peaks?
2 and 3.
That's a show I gotta watch. That was
I like to imagine that wasn't scripted.
I have one of those rock hammers, actually.
noise.
Hammer any good rocks with it?
Yes, I have.
Mm.
It destroys rocks. It's
Mhm.
really weird. You hit it's perfectly designed for that job.
Pinpoint force.
Yeah.
You know what kind of metal it's made from?
No.
Maybe tungsten.
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium. It's a smart bug, man.
Yeah.
It's a smart bug, and this is also
It
a
uses
horrifying idea.
a appendage designed for puncturing in a slicing motion.
Yeah.
Why not? Why can't he turn off his helmet?
Yeah, I mean, he's already had his suit punctured.
Yeah. He should have drowned or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. David Duchovny, totally emotionless. Orlando Jones killing it.
Yep.
That I like that cut.
Yeah, that is
It's
a good
really
cut.
Good cut.
Good cut. So, question. If this movie were made today, would they still do this scene?
Yes.
Yes. I'm still trying to think of who the Julianne
That
Moore would be.
bone saw. He thinks he's an athlete is such an insult.
Yeah, I suppose they would, yeah.
No, I'd rather keep the leg.
Well, yeah.
No, but,
that line is great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good cuts here. Like
Yeah.
the de-pantsing cut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The spreader.
Bum. Ba-dum. Ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-bum, bum, bum, bum,
You're
ba-dum,
so
bum,
brave line is a
bum.
weird line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting scene to shoot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's an awfully clean bug.
Yeah.
Awfully clean forceps.
Just like
I was waiting for him to like smack him in the face.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
That's a
Asses
good
get hungry too, apparently.
scene. Yeah. These are not Hawaiian headdresses, everyone, by the way. I believe they are either
Fujian?
They're Fujian or Fijian. Fijian or Tahitian. One of the two.
Hmm.
I cannot remember right off the top of my head.
But no, did not think for a second that it was actually Hawaiian.
Doesn't strike me as the kind of country club that gives a fuck.
Yeah,
Looks like
you're
Nixon.
100% correct about that, Ryan.
He doesn't look like Nixon. This cocktail of just purely Captain Morgan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he didn't put anything else in it.
I was waiting for him to like spike it with
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, me too.
That dude looks like such a worm.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful older woman.
Of course, because we're gonna have sex on the golf course. Got to bring the
Yeah.
champagne.
Le champagne.
Yeah, this is a weird sequence here. Don't open champagne like that. Like, what you think was going to happen?
He's a rich idiot.
Yep.
True.
You know he hasn't opened his own
He should-
champagne bottle ever before.
Yeah.
You should be familiar with champagne, though.
Not opening it.
Yeah. I'm going to clean my
One-
pants off with this dirty water from
Yeah,
the
this doesn't
pond.
make a
Yeah.
damn bit of sense.
Just spot wash.
Yeah, you'd be you'd be just full of brown streaks.
One time I had bought a bottle of champagne for New Year's, and I'd undone like the little like the wrap on top, and just like left it on the counter,
The cage?
and
Yeah.
hadn't actually popped it, and a couple minutes later, just like it shot off by itself.
Yep.
I'm like, oh,
This thing is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's super ominous.
it's an alligator with hair.
And now that James and I are balls deep in Monster Hunter, I just want to murder it and collect its things.
Yeah. I want to get my 3 scratches out of it.
Yeah,
Yep. Make some armor for your cat.
right.
Yes. Wah!
For a hot second, I thought that was a very young John Mulaney standing next to Sean William Scott.
Warning. Warning.
The giant bass drum in the middle of that room.
Yeah.
Boom.
Dong, 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 dong.
Ooh, harsh.
Oof.
I feel like the idea for Duchovny's character was, what if Peter Venkman but cared less?
And also get rid of all the charisma.
Yeah. No, the idea for this character is, what if Peter Venkman actually experienced consequences?
Yeah.
And still no charisma.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's critical.
Because, I mean, that's kind of the secret about all the Ghostbusters guys, is they really, like, particularly the first movie, they kind of just don't care about anything.
Well, I wouldn't say. I don't know.
Except-
Stans cares.
Yes.
And Egon.
But Egon is so
He's
completely
Egon.
out of anybody else's world. Like, he's
Yeah.
just off on his own.
Spores, bold, and fun guy.
Yeah. No, yeah, the only guy that cares is the one guy who isn't a scientist.
Yeah, Zingerman.
What, you mean Winston?
Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah, Winston. Winston is the
How many
only guy
shots
out
do
of
you
all
think
those
that
guys
took?
that cares. What?
When he throws his hat in the garbage can.
I don't know. They could have just CGI'd it.
I doubt that.
Hat GI'd it.
Why are you also walking weird, David Duchovny?
Sympathy pains.
Yeah.
All the cool professors are walking like this now.
Yeah.
When he was walking like that, all that could remind me of is the scene from the episode of Bob's Burgers where Tina has diarrhea and walks like that. Walks like that the whole episode.
I think I've seen that episode.
Yes.
Good show. And not in the regular heart attack way.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's got to be cool. I think it must be cool being in a prop department and being like, okay, we need to make this thing.
Right.
Yeah. That looks like it's made of the same material that my old Jurassic Park toys were made out of.
Oh, yeah. There's some good action figures back from the day.
Yep.
A lot of good elbow raisings.
Yeah.
Also, frosted tips.
Did
Sean
you say
William Scott.
elbow raising?
Yeah, you did say elbow raising.
You know I meant eyebrow raising. You said yeah.
That's a thing now.
These are my face elbows.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just if we both know a thing, just raise an elbow.
Raise an elbow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking gross.
That's a really gross effect that they've managed to pull off.
Just like the dead flatworms.
Yeah.
That just makes me excited to watch Arachnophobia with Jordan. Coming soon.
To a podcast near you.
Or this reminds me of Slither.
Oh,
That's a
I
fun
love that movie.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
fun one. Again, may have said it before, but also from James Gunn. Watch Super with Rainn Wilson and
Shut
Ellen
up,
Page.
crime.
Yeah, it's so good and
Yep.
just great. Good and great. Great and good.
Nope,
What are
that's
the-
your beer, Ryan. Not
That's
mine.
mine.
What are the factual differences between good and great, Ryan?
Good question.
Looks terrible, bad effects.
Yep.
It's because it's so light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looked a little better when it was in that.
Nobody
25.
thinks that's a dog.
No.
I'm sorry.
No,
I can't
nobody.
make that leap.
Yep.
Unless this bitch is blind and she left her glasses at the table.
It's like someone mixed a French bulldog and Yoshi.
What it looks like is someone took Littlefoot from the Land Before,
Before
Time
Time, yeah.
series and hit him with a baseball bat, and he got smushed all together.
Just compressed him like
Yeah.
an accordion.
It's the same coloration.
Right.
No, he's not. What if it's purple? Oh, Spike is the green
Spike
one.
is green.
Spike is the Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
I just refuse
That
to
is
believe...
a cool design.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
design is great, but I refuse to believe that anyone would be that dumb,
Yeah.
even for this movie.
And the head of the bitey mouth
Yeah,
looked a
that's-
little bit like
Looks like a
the-
turkey.
I'll say the turkey from Thanksgiving, and of course a gun in the junk drawer.
Yeah.
Is there anything more American?
Those shoulder pads might be more American, Max.
Yep. Just the deflation is a nice little touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
U.S. Army Aramid?
I really appreciate, actually, as someone who's familiar with the Army, that the door says for official use only, which is...
Can she also open doors?
Yeah.
Well, you were appreciating the appropriately accurate plates in Suicide Squad. Probably
Yes.
the only thing that one could
That,
appreciate about that.
Hey, Suicide Squad won an Oscar.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just reading that the guy who plays Rick Flag is pissed that he got a tattoo for that movie. It says Squad.
Yeah.
Didn't Jared Leto make them all get those tattoos?
I don't remember, but definitely a huge mistake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't he also say the
No,
ending
he's
of that
not
movie was really
acting.
stupid as well?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Didn't he also say the guy who played Rick Flag? Didn't he say also the ending was really dumb as well?
I wouldn't doubt it, but I can't.
It was
say
it
that
was
I
like a recent.
read that.
No
Google
one wants
News
to watch
thing,
anyone fight Shakira.
When you buy me another drink.
Yeah.
Good aesthetic though.
Hmm.
Before she got super powered.
Yes. And this is where she just walks into the elevator shaft. And there's no elevator.
And then just flatworms. Flatworms just falling down onto her.
Stop being so adorable. Quit it.
Yep.
She's aged very well.
I have no idea how old she is in this, or how old she is now.
Well, just like she looks.
Who eats toast like that?
I'm raising my
Morons
hand.
in paisley shirts.
Yep.
You don't.
I don't have the paisley shirts, but
you don't eat toast like that.
I don't know.
No.
You use your toast to mop up the juice from the yolk from your sunny side up eggs.
Yeah.
I guess you have seen me eat toast fairly frequently.
Yeah.
As far as weird friend
I'm
statistics.
fine with like dip down and then like slide.
Yeah.
But you don't like dip the whole piece of bread sideways while holding a corner.
Like a tortilla chip.
Yeah.
Eggs are not salsa.
Yeah. I do appreciate too with Sean William Scott, the character, is like he asked him if he's gonna eat his bacon. And he's like, "Yeah, I ordered it." Like it fits into his character of being like, "I don't have a lot of money. I only order things that I can actually eat."
Right.
I also like how Orlando Jones is dressed like Gilligan.
Yeah, he is. Sarah Silverman.
Yeah. This is before she got her big break.
Yeah.
With the Sarah Silverman show.
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks, Orlando Jones. We did not know that.
Yeah. They gave us.
Isn't
they gave
he
each other
also
shivvies.
from the Sarah Silverman show? The cop?
Oh.
I don't know.
Him and his mustache are about to make detective, which, pretty big deal in Glendale, Arizona.
Yeah.
Detective
Is that my
stash?
shirt?
Yeah.
Don't sully my memories of Wreck-It Ralph, Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Glen Cannon, not Glendale. I was mixing Greendale and
Yeah, fucking Greendale.
from another famous community college.
So I'd like to posit a theory to you guys. I think that perhaps Sean William Scott's slot in Hollywood became irrelevant because of Ryan Reynolds. He's the handsome but hilarious guy.
Sean William Scott is not handsome.
That's why I'm saying his
Okay.
slot got filled. Like he's almost there.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a butt his face. Like a butterface. But I don't know.
Sean William. I mean, he was a guy who everyone was kind of going for a while.
So as far as your recasting question, Max, Ryan Reynolds for Sean William Scott.
Yes.
That would be my answer.
He's too old now, but yes.
Yeah. That's actually a really good, smart thing to just go. You didn't touch it, did you?
Yeah.
If that lady in the background walked in front of a green screen, she'd just be floating head and hands.
Yeah. The cop that they cast right here, he looks like a police officer. Like just from a visual standpoint, they did a good job with that.
The way his stance and his hair, and he's like, I might pull a gun on you if you're not Caucasian.
He just looks like, the mustache and everything else. He looks good. He looks looks like a cop.
Yeah.
Gross.
I still find it weird that they keep using the flatworms as a sign that the aliens are around when we've seen things that have evolved way past them, unless they're like a bacteria within their ecosystem.
My assumption is that as their ecosystem expands, the bleeding edge is just the flatworms.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense.
And so it keeps pushing out further and further, so the flatworms keep poking out where they find a hole.
Yeah. And then we go to weird, dinosaur shit.
Great. Cool.
Yeah. So now we're done with interesting creature designs. We just go to vaguely velociraptors with wings.
I like these creatures.
I mean, they're okay, but there's nothing like they lose the originality at this point. After seeing like that inflatable Yoshi with a secondary mouth.
Yeah.
We have.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't think they're that cool looking though.
I mean, they're not. I mean, they look
go.
okay,
Yeah.
but they're not as interesting as everything else we've seen so far. You know.
Yeah. So Orlando Jones showing his chops.
Yep.
But I did like that all those shots were practical just now. I mean, the
those
set
are all
looks
just
great.
dead dummies.
Yeah.
Bleh.
Yep.
And what better to connect everything than an ice cold can of 7-Up? Which is true in this movie, right?
Yeah, it is. Except when he's coaching volleyball.
Yeah.
And even there, this CGI looks good.
Yeah, for being as old as this movie is, that is not the worst CGI we've seen.
No,
not
we've
even
seen
close.
Much
I mean,
worse. That's
bad.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I figured that's such a vital scene that they were like put all the money into it.
Yeah. The thing that looks the worst there actually is the green spittle. The rest of everything else looks good.
A later shot in the movie with some of the main characters going up a fire ladder just has very bad green screen.
Yeah. I honestly think though that green screen even today still looks bad at times.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. So is that a ad-libbed line?
The
That
muzzle top?
feels like an ad-lib
Probably.
line.
Maybe. Yeah. Like I was thinking, like how much of Sean William Scott and Orlando Jones's lines are off script.
I like that none of us assumes
No,
David Duchovny is
David
ad-libbed.
Duchovny's got no.
Nope.
Tumbleweeds.
If I had to name this store,
Is that
I would
Ivan
call
Reitman
it Tumble. What?
in the shirt? That guy on the right. Is that Ivan Reitman? I'm wondering.
I don't know.
'Cause
I don't
I
know.
just looked at a picture the other day, and it kind of looks like him. I'm not sure.
The effect of it smashing into the glass and like pulling up is great.
Yeah.
I really like that. It's a
Yeah.
subtle touch, but I really like it.
But as I was saying, if I had to name that department store they were just in, I would call it Tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
Everything there was brown and
That
pale and
looked pretty good just then with it walking around.
yeah.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by how good the CGI was in this.
Mm-hmm. Not as atrocious as I thought it would be.
To the shotgun store.
Yeah.
It's Arizona. They're like every other block.
It seems like they go from pretty quickly to looting in this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Girl singing.
Yep. But oh well, what you gonna do? There's aliens afoot.
Yeah.
I feel like this woman's from a different decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
She looks like she's from right now, actually.
Yeah.
I would have said like middle 90s because of that hair, but bitch.
I'd see that hair nowadays.
Yeah.
Man, where are you hanging out, James Thorpe? All right.
Oh, hello.
That's not good CG though.
not the worst, but
No.
not great.
It's the subtle touches that don't
Yeah.
look good on it, actually, like the wetness and
Yeah.
and like the spittle. But
Mm.
otherwise,
Yeah.
it looks good. I like the appropriate plants they have in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, malls are their natural habitats.
Yes.
Malls are their natural habitats. Into the microphone this time instead of yelling at my computer. As stupid as this is, it's acted hilariously.
Yeah.
Yeah. The quiet one is honestly
Yeah.
the one that kills me.
Isn't there a similar scene in Eight-Legged Freaks to this? I feel like there is.
I think there is.
Wait, Eight-Legged Freaks also takes place in the Southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want to
David
deal with
Mall.
spiders. Yeah.
That's where he lives, right?
I mean,
For a hot second, I thought that was Kristen Shaw, but it's not.
nope.
Yeah, she didn't really start popping into stuff. This is too early for her, but yeah,
Yeah.
I could see why you would think that.
Give another 5 years.
So this looks fine except for the human.
Yes, I didn't know. At first, I'm like, oh, that looks okay. Then I looked at the human. I'm like, no,
Ooh, bad.
No,
Human
that's
bad.
not okay.
Bad human.
Bad human.
I can't tell you the last time I was in a mall.
It feels weird. Like I used to spend a lot of time at malls, but I guess that's
Yeah.
an obligatory experience for an adolescent. I don't know.
Yeah. So this scene feels really weird to me because you assume that when they go into the mall and rob the sporting goods store, that like the mall's been deserted.
Yeah.
But
They were on lunch break. Yeah.
70% of the people are still just shopping as normal.
Yeah.
Go to the sharper image.
Yeah.
We have 3 random dudes armed with shotguns running around, but everything's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. Sean William Scott with a shotgun. Have you ever been so terrified?
Yeah.
Yeah, just George of the Jungle
Yeah,
references.
any George of the Jungle references
I like
are good
this.
by me.
I love the disdain in his voice is fantastic.
The wink.
Yeah.
See, the movie gets like a weird tonal shift like at this
This
scene because like up until now it's been like there's aliens. We're trying to figure it out. We're dealing with the government. Yep, I'm gonna shoot him myself.
Actually, that's
so
funny.
if I remember
Pottery Barn?
correctly, the trailers for this movie were much more in this tone.
Well, I remember that's like a big loogie.
Yeah.
Like from the trailer.
They were way more in the comedy tone.
So
And,
we really don't go on a full-on slapsticky
right. And I think,
nonsense until here.
yeah, you and I, Ryan, were waiting for like a really cool alien, goofy, fun movie. Like it was supposed to be. If I remember, it was portrayed as a very funny movie.
Another example where it seems to have a problem with identity crisis.
Yep, that's a good example.
Mm.
It's a good measure of things that show up on this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Movies not knowing what they want to be.
Yeah, the dancing here is what really adds to this.
He's rubbing some funk on it.
Yeah. That's the funk. That's it.
Yeah. So, well, here's the thing, James, about them just going into a gun store and breaking in. Very loose security in America pre 9/11.
Yeah.
Also true.
No, I get that, but at the same account, like the
Still.
indication that gives is like the mall has been emptied.
Yeah.
Right.
That's some athletic moves by Orlando Jones's character there.
He's a sports coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the bird does the full on Batman or Batwing.
Yeah.
Comes up and stops.
Also, why aren't the police here yet?
Yeah.
She's wearing like 13 shirts.
Yeah. The idea that's mall security is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm the shoplifting dragon.
I love the Western.
Oh, yeah, like
slant.
there's like like Orlando Jones's big coat, like as a duster, just keep firing, assholes.
Yeah.
Reload. How many times do you think they had to do that? Like
enough.
Yeah. So Orlando Jones completely owning this scene.
Yeah,
look at that
Sean William
green
Scott's
screen.
close second, and David Duchovny is in a different movie.
This is probably one of his better acting scenes.
He's just awkward
yeah.
because
It's very wooden in comparison to the other two's movements.
Yeah, I mean he's with two very, very, very facially evocative characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just two really expressive dudes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just like side to side movements from David Duchovny.
So I want to see that movie.
So, okay, here's the thing. I think this movie would have benefited greatly from opening with this stretch of news feeds and circling back to it later. I would have liked to have seen the movie opening with this kind of stuff.
With like some found footage kind of stuff?
Yeah.
I can see that.
And then circling back to explain how this all came to be. For
like
me.
after they've defeated it?
So after all these news feeds, then you go to your Evolution title screen, then you go to Sean William Scott, burning down the thing to practice for the fireman course.
Like 1 week earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the secret appearance of...
Oh, it is not secret at all.
Was he in the trailers?
Oh, no, I can't remember, but I'm like, it is obvious this is Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, I don't think Dan Aykroyd was in the trailers.
Oh, I don't know. But I love when he's just like the cameo.
Yeah.
He shows up in Adam Sandler movies sometimes, which is weird.
Yeah. So
not the cushy federal prison.
So we've switched to Southern Tier Concord Grape Gosa.
Imperial.
Yes.
The second Imperial Goza by Southern Tier, and the actual fourth beer by the brewery on our
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
We had the Cherry Imperial Goza last summer with Randy on Cyborg, which we were very surprised to see a Goza with a ABV. I think that one was like 9, and this one is up at 8.3. So,
Yep.
what are you guys thinking of this one?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't care for this. It's okay, and maybe it's just because I tend to not like the usual purple grape flavor in a lot of stuff. But I don't care for this. I'm very sub middle of the road on this. I don't hate it, but I'm not gonna buy this again. I'm not gonna look for this.
So, I find it mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
A Gosa to me, a good Gosa to me, hits you really hard up front with some interesting flavor,
Mm-hmm.
and then ends on that salty taste.
Okay.
And this hits me with a mild grape flavor and like a hint of salt.
So, if we want to go traditionally by what a Goza is, you're actually not supposed to get the salt. Allegedly.
Okay.
Like I think this kind of salt is more of what you're supposed to have as opposed to a lot of the other salty
Yeah.
that we've been accustomed to. That might just be the whole like American thing of being like more flavor,
Right,
more
it could be.
hops.
Yeah.
So, but it's a mediocre one for me. Grape's never been a flavor that I'm very fond of.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
part of my problem. I think with
But
this
it was.
as well.
I think it is interesting though that. Excuse me.
Shut
that
up,
they're-
Ty
That
Burrell.
they did make this. That we don't see a lot of grape beers. I mean, we had the Le Trois Docteurs from Raised Grain, which had the Pinot Noir.
Yeah. And that was
and the-
amazing.
Yep. And so I'm seeing them like usually as like some little additive, but not as like the prominent flavor in a lot of
Yeah,
beers.
they have to get finished in wine barrels, which gives that grape taste.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's a different grape taste than this. Now, unlike the two of you, like as a child, I loved grape flavored everything.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So this does have that taste to it. But and to speak to your thing, Max, it might not be the traditional style, but all the Gosas that I've really enjoyed the most are like that briny melon, where it is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
for
it's
sure.
like
for
melon
sure.
That's great.
taste, and then it finishes on like I have
Yeah.
just licked salt.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're bad for
No,
doing
no,
that, but
but
you know,
for-
that's like maybe the American goes.
Yeah, if they're making it a more traditional style, then I'll respect that. But it's just not what I wanted from this. Like I was hoping for like for me, a strong grape taste or like a beer taste with that wine finish
Right.
at the front of it and ending on salt
And-
would have been an
like a
amazing
confident
beer.
but not overpowering saltiness, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you get with these fruit flavor beers, it's a very very
Yeah.
fine balance.
It
of
is.
like
That's true.
just the taste, but not like you punch in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
and-
remember liking the cherry Gosa a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, it was also. I think that was also like it was
Oof.
90 degrees outside, and we were in a basement, and it was very cold and refreshing.
Yeah, that's a good line.
I do like going back to the movie for a second. I do like the design of the primates.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're kind of horrifying, which
Yeah.
I like.
I mean,
Oh.
they're primate enough to look like primates, but they're also bizarre enough that they are alien.
So, if anybody hasn't played Until Dawn,
Oh, it's
please
so
plug your ears
good.
for the next 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Starting
Sorry. Spoilers.
now,
Okay.
those remind me of the Wendigo design from Until Dawn.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, for sure.
A
For sure.
lot.
I
They
haven't
look
gotten to
very
that part
much
of
like
Until
that.
Dawn, but I know what you mean. And,
I apologize, Max.
well, I knew they were Wendigo in that.
Okay.
It's
And
so
well,
good.
You've played in my
Yes.
horror
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
So
Until
I like
Dawn.
the Wendigo.
It's
Anyway.
one of my favorite video game experiences ever.
Yeah.
Great party game, actually. Vote on the
you
choices.
can listen now, people.
Yeah, everybody.
Anyway, back to the beer. I like many of the movies we watch. I wish there was more.
See, I was
Aw.
see the more I'm drinking this, the more salt I'm getting. I mean, we recently just finished that brown ale, so maybe that was sitting a little heavy. We didn't I
Right.
didn't clean my
Yeah.
palate in between those, but it's not bad, but it's
Yeah, it's
there.
there.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
If
I think
I
it
think
does
the
a
thing,
thing.
if given
That
the
looks
choice between
bad.
the cherry and the grape, the cherry is superior.
Yeah,
Oh,
no question.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think as it's losing carbonation, I'm liking it better. I don't know.
Well, carbonation is very important, I guess, for how beers are served. So,
Yeah. You know, I didn't notice that one of the primates hurls a soldier into
the pit.
Into the pit.
He's dead.
Yeah, he gone.
The elongated forearms, I think, is a nice touch to making them just more than Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
So, do you guys like that they get to make his character be kind of heroic here?
Yeah,
I
because
do.
he didn't. Yeah, it's a
I mean,
nice little moment for him.
Because he's shown as like a bumbling buffoon, but given the opportunity to actually be heroic, he is heroic
In a non-comedic way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a nice little. Yeah, it's a nice little thing.
It's a display of character, not so much as competency.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So,
go ahead.
Oh, this is more about governors. Do governors have this much sway?
Because I was actually wondering the same.
He can't. Well, he couldn't order the actual army to do this. He could order the National Guard to do this.
Yes. But he was like, I'll knock you. I'll throw you all in prison.
That
Not the
taller
federal
G-
one.
Yeah.
The orange jumpsuit one.
Federal pound me in the ass prison. That taller G-man looked a lot like James Comey. That was weird. Anyway.
James Comey is very tall.
Yeah, he's like, what, 6'4"?
He's like 6'7".
Oh, wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I
That's
think
why
Holy
Trump
hell.
fired. That's why Trump got rid of him.
Yeah.
No one can be taller than him.
And you're not joking, actually. That is Trump has fired.
I don't disbelieve
He
that
has
at all.
fired people for being taller than him before. Yeah, because he's taller than Trump, and Trump is like
Trump is 6'5".
6'5". Yeah,
6'4", 6'5", and
Yeah.
supposedly 230 pounds.
230. Yeah, if he's 239 pounds, I'm 150. Sorry. Anyway,
For those of you who have seen
conspiracy
pictures
land.
of us,
Different podcast.
Max, weigh 150.
God damn it, Max. I've almost got
It's
you by
150
100
and
pounds,
change.
and I don't like that.
So there's no way on earth that she would be deputy director of the CDC out doing this kind of work, by the way. She could be deputy director of the CDC,
See?
but she'd be in an office doing very boring work.
Telling people to come do this
I'll
work.
tell you. Okay, counterpoint. If I heard that aliens might be there, I'd get out of my office.
You
Wouldn't
would
you?
they still wouldn't let you go.
I would find a
Not
way.
the FBI.
I'd find a way.
The CDC would not have you go there.
If they did, you'd be in a full hazmat suit the entire time you were on the ground. You would not be anywhere within a mile of that place in open skin.
Oh yeah, safety has not been exercised in
No.
this movie in the proper ways at all.
Again, this is pre-anthrax America,
Yeah.
which they talk about in this movie.
Do you notice that the windshield wipers turn on when he turns the car on right
Yeah.
there?
And here we go into early aughts
Right.
metal.
Yep. Power Man 5000.
Oh, and
Yeah.
a minivan.
They're still making music, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Lead singer Spider One is Rob Zombie's brother. Fun fact.
Oh.
Hmm.
So I like that they do have here, in a very Western style, multiple Winnebagos driving away, which is very much the Southwest.
Yep.
One of the rare times that the music is subtitled in the movie.
It
Yeah.
really
As
matters
far as
by,
Amazon
it matters by
experiences.
movie.
Yeah.
Um.
I like that they're all, fuck this, close it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys the bra on the
Yep.
statue? Do you guys think that this is a very strange musical choice for this scene?
I think it's a strange musical choice for the movie, but for the scene, it's
For the scene,
fine.
no. For the movie, yes.
Okay.
It's a little heavy
Yeah.
for this movie, but
It kind of fits for the scene,
yeah.
but there was a pretty long lead into this scene with this music, which was weird.
Yeah.
Weird's too strong a word. It just didn't fit.
Yeah.
Like I can see what they're going for, but they went too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now he's going to pour it into a toaster and play music. And watch the toaster dance.
In this shirt and this lighting, she looks like grown up Ellen Page. When they cut back to her.
Yeah. She has the same frame.
The
Yeah.
Same hair.
Yeah. If you're going Juno hair.
Yeah.
Also, Ellen Page movie that's great. watch Hard Candy if you haven't seen it. Also,
That's
with,
a crazy good movie.
yeah, with Patrick Wilson from
Ellen
Watchmen.
Page is awesome.
Yeah.
By the way,
Oh yeah,
Yep.
she good.
I like this actually. I think
Yeah.
this is a cool twist.
It
in
is
the
a
movie.
very cool twist.
Yeah,
The
just
CG
very
is not good.
no, but it's
It's
a
like
good
a Shoggoth.
twist. Tiny shades of The Thing, but
Yeah.
It takes the movie in a direction you don't necessarily expect it to go at this point.
No. It's like, oh my gosh, they're going to eventually turn into people.
Yeah.
and that's actually that adds so much weight and urgency to what comes after this, as far as letting the military know, hey, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Speaking of weight, that angle that David Duchovny was shot at was not kind. It makes him look a lot heavier.
That's not great.
No.
That's pretty bad, actually.
Yeah.
Again, just imagine all of that, but with Ryan Reynolds.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Ted Levine. A badass.
Did Vietnam teach you nothing? Napalm can't win you wars.
Yeah. This is nice.
She's this movie's Agent Hill.
Yeah. Except Agent Hill is a lot more effective than she is.
And Woodman is this movie's Gregory or Mr. Peck from the EPA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there we have practical goo.
Yeah.
Those counters are not comfortable.
No.
Yeah, look,
Dude,
Sammy
look at
Adams.
his side profile. Look how huge he was. He
Well, this
being
is Sam
Ethan
Adams.
Suplee.
Yeah. So many frosted tips.
That was. Yeah? Huh?
All right,
Huh?
I need some actual
Science?
biologists to weigh in on this scene.
Yeah. Yeah, this is none of our fields. I actually really like that cut.
There's a lot of elements on that table that we as humans don't like.
Right.
Yeah.
So
The whole family.
do you think just Ivan Reitman was in the shower holding a bottle of Head and Shoulders and
Could
was
be.
like, I can make this a movie.
Yeah.
Fuck, Men in Black can do it. I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
The same amount of actual calculations went into, detonating nukes originally, by the way. Okay.
This lighting would not suggest it's 2 a.m.
No.
Like, I thought it was like morning or something like that.
Uh-huh. Selenium sulfide. Totally.
Which
That's
that
the
is
SO2.
true,
That's-
actually.
Yeah.
Again, the latter third of this movie is just product placement for Head and Shoulders.
Yeah.
No dandruff kills aliens.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You're not a
No.
fireman yet.
You're going to steal the perfect vehicle. Hey, you know what? Those two guys did more to deserve
Yeah.
A's than anyone else in
Has ever done and ever to
Yeah.
get their A's.
Yeah, I guess we never see the bimbo again, huh? From class.
No.
No, she doesn't show up, does she?
I
Hel-
feel like
Hel-
she might be in a crowd shot.
Helena Heels, whatever her name was.
Heels.
Is she a character from Riverdale?
Shit.
What? He doesn't have enough good. He doesn't have enough good of a look on his face when she says that to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't register very well.
No. I do like the quick yes. That's a good line, actually. The hilariously epic music is perfect here.
Yep.
This looks like the subdivision that Mythbusters used to drive around in.
Just hurls her off.
Yeah,
Just kicks him
bye-bye.
Yep. Yeah. They don't care that you're driving around right now. Just keep going.
It's pronounced Vietnam.
I cannot imagine how uncomfortable it would be to drive a fire truck
across
through the
anything that's not
desert.
pavement.
Oh my God.
That's why they're so disgruntled and are ruining hotel rooms in Indiana. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Stop! God damn it! It hurts when you drive. I like that actually.
The
I'm
fall
good.
down right there. Yeah. So, were you guys waiting for him to hit himself in the balls with the hose again at this scene?
No. If you
Not
would've,
really,
would've
but
groaned.
I mean, it might have been a funny callback.
I was like, okay, when's it going to happen?
Yeah. Huh?
I was
Cage?
waiting for him more to pull the hose and like tripping from not having like unwound it or something like that.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, just lick the
No,
rock.
never.
Lots of
I like that
tomatoes.
cut.
Lots of tomatoes in these rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any chance. Any possible chance.
Looks like a Command and Conquer cinematic.
Right.
In space! The greatest cutscene in the history of video games.
Yeah.
The whole Tim Curry.
The one place that is free from capitalism.
Space! Just because you can tell Tim
He
Curry
just
is so happy and ridiculous and knows how absurd that scene is.
yeah. Yeah. Although they got some like semi decent actors for those.
Oh, Red Alert!
Cutscenes, like,
the whole Red Alert series
yeah.
has great actors in it, and they're just chewing the scenery the whole time. I love Red Alert, and I love all those cutscenes. They're so cheesy and beautiful, and everything you want out of that whole series.
Like, let's have Peter Stormare play our time scientist.
He's another actor who's just always fun to watch. Jesus,
Blue
nightmare
Monkey.
fuel.
Blue
Fuck.
Monkey.
Those things are horrifying looking in the face.
Blue Monkey would be like the tie-in craft beer for this movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Like Sam Adams, Blue Monkey, to celebrate the release of Evolution.
Was that supposed to be kind of a sex joke?
I think so.
Yeah. The way it was delivered, yes.
Oh, see, that's bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree,
Yeah.
Orlando Jones.
Yeah.
Fuck this. Fat guy's out. Oof.
It's a Dark Souls 2 boss.
Yeah.
Exit stage right.
This is a weird, like, the film grain on that shot is oddly bad.
Yeah. A lot of the film grain in this movie is bad. How do you have printouts that soon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Inside
I will say that
Batman's
Dan
head.
Aykroyd is aged very well.
What was he in?
He had a cameo in the new Ghostbusters.
Right.
Yeah.
He was also a supporting role in the James Brown biopic, Get On Up. He was
yes.
really good in that too. Great movie, also. Just aside from that,
I haven't seen that yet.
it's very good. Shit. See, this is weird. Like, some of it looks fine, but other parts look real bad.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
parts
yeah.
of it look really, really well,
Yeah.
but then parts of it look really, really bad.
Yeah.
Ryan, there's no train in this scene.
I mean, the creature design is pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it again. It's
Just
super
the-
cool.
Big-ass flatworm.
Very bad wood effects.
Yeah. That looks neat.
Mm.
It doesn't look great. It looks neat, though.
Yeah.
Not too bad
I
here.
mean, it's...
It's old, though, too.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing, though. Looking closely at the textures of the giant blob thing right there, like, that's not too far off what you would see in some other sci-fi movies these days. The difference, however, is that in this instance, it's against the actual physical background, while
Yeah.
in movies these days, it would be against CGI, so it would look...
It might
Right.
not look as out of place.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So this movie does something that right there that a lot of movies, modern movies, actually don't do unless they're war movies,
Kill
which
soldiers?
is show U.S. soldiers dying.
Hmm.
They imply soldiers die by buildings exploding and
Yeah,
things
oh,
like
here
that, but
they show on
they
getting
show
them
them
crushed.
crushed. Yeah,
17 years of war will do that to you.
Hmm. Wait, is he Mulder or Scully? I don't know.
He's Mulder.
Okay.
Mulder.
Fox Mulder, Dana Scully.
Why is it your tosis?
Ah.
I want to see
So-
the giant blue apes.
Right.
Yeah. That's
I
how
don't
you
know.
get to King Kong.
I
That's
feel-
how you get King Kong.
That's how you get King Kong. I feel like this idea for an accidental alien invasion and this hyper accelerated evolution is a super cool idea for a different movie.
Do you think it from a darker movie?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily a comedy, but just more like straightforward sci-fi
Okay.
would be interesting.
When I say darker movie, almost like a horror movie, like sci-fi horror.
I
You
could
get
see
the-
it
then you get
working
the
that
thing.
way.
Well, that's on a micro scale.
That's on a micro scale. Yeah, like a macro scale.
Yeah, I just, I have problems with this movie because this movie disappoints me, but I like a lot of the ideas in it.
Like
I would
most-
have liked,
like all Dreamcast movies.
yeah.
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast. I'm gonna play,
Ryan-
Dreamcast was,
you're gonna play
Dreamcast was
Seaman
also
and
yeah.
Subtitle:
fucking
Creature
Dreamcast,
farts.
like DreamWorks, also had a lot of good ideas, but was
Yeah.
ultimately disappointing.
Bad controller design.
fucking
for one.
Shenmue, the worst controller design.
Yeah. Well, no, the worst controller design is Virtua Boy.
That's
Oh,
a periphery.
oh, my brother had one of those things. Sweet Jesus. The only way to play that semi-comfortably was to lay on the floor and let the headset lie on your face. So, like, that green screen is disgusting.
Yeah, the film grain here is really bad.
Ugh.
A lot of
Look
these,
at
big,
the-
a
look
lot
at
of
this
these
shit.
shots like this.
Yeah.
It's
Climbing
like
the
out
ladder,
of
that's real bad.
Yeah.
CGI balls,
Yeah.
just balls. But Ryan, this film
Yeah.
disappointed me. Is the title of your memoir?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. But yeah, the concept of a just an entire evolutionary cycle of life just super accelerated. How would we deal with
Yeah.
it? That's interesting to me.
Isn't that the idea of Parasite Eve?
Oh man, it's been so long. I don't
think it
even think I
is.
finished that game.
That was a good game.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say I was waiting for like the anal probe joke.
Yeah.
Well, he makes it right here.
Yeah.
This is a better payback time than the payback time that the guy yells about in Independence Day.
Yeah.
Mm.
When he flies under the
Fucking
beam.
Randy Quaid. Wait,
Yes.
which? It's a Quaid.
Do you think this was Quaid?
What Quaids are
It
there?
is.
There's Randy. I can only remember Randy.
Oh.
Now
The
that
Quaid
looks
for-
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not great, but it's amazing because it's practical.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Okay, gonna make this flappy butt-like substance.
If this movie would have just gone full-on ham and cheese and made, like, really, really cheesy practical aliens through the whole thing that were kind of a neat design that they've done with this,
Okay.
would you like this movie better?
I mean, maybe.
And I guess the secondary part of that is that it would have been cheesy throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, a more consistent
a more
feel.
consistent cheat.
It
feel.
kind of is, but like a lot of the initial cheese isn't reliant upon the threat, like Ghostbusters. A lot of the cheese of the first Ghostbusters film is like, we are scientists who are bad scientists.
But these two are competent the whole time.
Yeah.
That is a tremendously terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like, okay. Again, that's like the movie showing its age.
Yeah. I would have, honestly, asking that question and thinking about it, I would have loved this movie if it was super cheesy throughout the whole thing.
If it's just kind of leaned into it,
leaned into it and knew that it was going to be cheesy and funny and hilarious.
It leans into it in Act 3, but
yeah.
If this,
but honestly, I don't like Act 3 of this movie.
Oh, see, and I find Act 3 the best part of the movie.
No one should ever do this, and ever would.
No.
If you're covered in alien goo, you're not going to do this.
Yeah.
Ever.
Orlando Jones is consistent. His character is the one consistent character through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that he's just pissed off at the water. That's like when you spray
Give
a
him the
dog with
hose.
water.
He's getting the
He
hose.
starts barking at it and trying to bite the water.
Yeah.
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 Preach it, Aykroyd.
I may dislike Act 3 because of the inclusion of Sean William Scott, and because the plot gets ridiculous how they defeat aliens with shampoo.
Yeah.
I also, I mean, I get why they're doing this, they being Julianne Moore and David Duchovny, but I can't believe that any sane human being would make this decision right now.
To just get it on.
You've just survived an alien exploding all over you. There's no way that these two are in the mood to do this.
The winningest coach.
These are quick medals that he managed to get. I don't know if he went to like the dollar store. Or
He just has. I assume when you become governor, you just like get it. Like, here's your complimentary medals case.
Yeah.
For moment's notice.
And not only are they going to go bang, but they're going to go bang in the alien goo-filled machine that they have.
Yeah, no, that's just dumb. To you I bestow upon 17,000 gallons of Crystal Skull vodka.
Oh yeah, he is the sponsor of that.
Right.
Which is what we need to get when eventually we do Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Also, a very weird and abrupt way to end?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like, they beat the aliens.
And
then weird plugins for Jeep.
But this is all shades of. There's some shades of Ghostbusters here too, like when they're making their commercials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that Orlando Jones is backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up another episode of Good Brews, Bad Views. But before we go, let's do View Again, Brew Again. I'll start. Brew Again.
Double brew again.
Double brew again. Well,
True.
I was going to go one by one.
Show.
No.
On.
Both?
Both?
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
All right.
I mean, the current trend for browns is to put coffee in them, and this one's okay, but it doesn't do anything remarkable for me. Like, it's a beer I enjoy, but I'm not going to seek it out. If it's offered to me, I'll have it, but it's, it's fine. It's kind of like this. It's better than this Goza. Like, I enjoyed it more, but I don't know. I mean, like, both instances I've had it, it's been something that was brought, and I, enjoyed it. But it's okay. It's okay. It's a good I would say maybe like benchmark for like browns with coffee. Like, obviously Founder Sumatra Brown is like the next step up, I think. So, but that's just me. I mean, the weird donut-y thing is kind of sets it apart. I don't like it. I don't dislike it. It's just kind of like it's a middle ground thing. Like this is where I wish sometimes we had more than a binary view again, brew again rating. I would suppose. Yeah,
we had a lot of context.
Yeah.
The Goza, probably not. We've had better Gozas from Southern Tier. We've had better Gozas on the show. So, I mean, the grape's a new, just gimmicky thing, which a lot of we were talking off mic about, just like crazy ass stuff. New breweries are not new breweries, but breweries are doing. So, like next week, Shorts Brewing Company, who's been on this podcast many a time,
sure, and
is
will continue
releasing,
to be.
Yeah, and will continue to be. That was actually one of the beers we were tossing around for this episode. Is releasing batch 8,000, their 8,000th batch of beer they've brewed. It is a quadruple IPA with raspberries, which I've never heard of a quadruple IPA. Imagine it's going to be...
We're going to drink some.
We're going to drink some, whether it's on the podcast or not.
Spoilers.
So stay tuned for at least something on that. View again. I hadn't watched this movie since it came out in 2001. I probably won't watch it again, but somehow it still had I could tell you exactly what happens in this movie, despite not having seen it for 17 years. And that's about all I got. I mean, the CG is good in some spots. I think the lighting aids to it in some instances. But again, also the lighting is what makes it look dated as it is. It's better on the smaller scale than it is on the large scale. Good practical jokes. Orlando Jones is obviously the highlight of this movie, I think.
Certainly.
David Duchovny is more mannequin-like than man. So, but, it was a nice movie to revisit after so many years, over half of my life.
Yeah, and this is, if I'm remembering, this is one of the very early movies that we added to our, list of potential stuff to watch.
I believe so, yeah.
So this has kind of been a long time coming.
Yeah, we've been talking like, hey, let's do this, hey, let's do this, hey, let's do this. And then, we try to do movies that you, the listener, can easily access. And when we saw it, that was on Amazon Prime, like, hey, let's do this now. So, yeah. James.
Okay, so brew again. Yes, for the Super Trooper Brown Ale. I'll be honest, I am not a brown ale fan in any way, shape, or form. I do like Sumatra. You brought up the two that I do like, that I know that I like off the top of my head, which is Sumatra Brown Ale. And I like this one. I enjoy that sprinkle taste a little bit. That
same.
Sprinkle and frosting taste for sweetness, because it's a different kind of sweetness.
Okay.
Than just straight up what you get from
a very malty beer.
Yeah, or even like you start going into stout territory, right? Where you
get the lactose,
where you start getting lactose taste, and this is a completely different sweetness from that.
Yeah,
it's real subtle.
Okay.
I wish it was there a little more, but I say that, but I also understand why they probably have it understated, because if you bring it up too much, then that's all you're gonna taste is just sugar.
Right.
Yeah. Thinking back to Cranium Crush, that was also like a finely balanced of like you have that raspberry waffle cone.
Yeah.
Just hints of it, not enough that it's like, oh, this is what I'm having, like a wine cooler or something like that.
Yeah, because I think if it was too strong, you get to the point where you don't want to drink it.
Yeah, and all the beers that Petoskey does are 16-ounce cans, so you're committing to 16 ounces.
Right. The Gosa, no. I love you, Southern Tier, but this is just not one of the things that I'm going to seek out at all. This is even a beer that if someone offered to me, honestly, I probably would just pass on it. It's to the point where it's too sweet.
Okay.
I know I said it doesn't have enough flavor, but that's a difference. That's a difference from sweetness for me. As someone who loves grape things, I wish there was more grape and less sweet. And someone who likes Gosa, I wish there was more salt. It's, I think, a comparison that's always going to be broken now for me with grape flavors, because it's more of a wine flavor, is either the raised grain that we had or the Sun King that we had that was in the
the port
barrels.
Yep.
Those flavors, when combined with beer, were like out of this world good for me.
Yeah.
I loved those things beyond anything else. And
Wonder Twin powers activate.
yeah, that's what I'm looking for when I have like a grape or a wine flavor in a beer, is that strong flavor of the wine.
The
that
strong
you're gonna get.
tannins.
Do you
Strong
remember?
tannins,
Do you remember the Sun King name of the beer?
No.
Right. You continue talking, and I'll look
Yeah.
it up.
That was like a one shot, I think, that they did.
Was it?
though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Was
think
that a
they
Gen
brewed it
Con
for
one?
Gen
or-
It was a
Con
Gen
last
Con
year.
one,
Oh,
and they didn't even have
right.
it. They didn't
Oh
even
my
have it for
gosh.
the second day.
That's right.
It
Yeah,
was
they
sold
sold
out.
out really
And
quickly.
that
I
was,
remember.
That's honestly one of my like top 10 beers I've ever had.
It was very good.
So good.
It was very good.
View again? No. I honestly am kind of proud of like when did this movie come out? 2001.
Like
So I'm
summer
proud of
2001.
16-year-old me because 32-year-old me, which is double at twice my age, which is kind of a
Oh my
disturbing
God! Just time out. I'm gonna fill out my AARP stuff while you're talking.
At twice my age, I have the exact same opinion of this movie as I did at 16, which is that I wanted more slapstick and I wanted more of the aliens in this movie. Ryan, you and I think were super excited to watch this movie.
Yeah.
I think we went
pretty
and saw
jazzed.
this like opening day, which, I'll say this from a friendship standpoint, you and I have maintained our like let's go to the movies standpoint for
yeah. No,
20 years now.
Lucky in that respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, and
Yeah.
I appreciate
Rare
you
and-
putting
let's
up
keep
with
that
me
going.
for that long to do that. But
You folks at home can't see it, but we're just making out right
yeah,
Yeah.
so
La, 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 la.
now.
While they're making out, the beer that we've talked about for a couple episodes now is called Don't Call Me Busey. from Sun
Yeah.
King. It's a Flanders Odd Bruin. The scripter says, Don't Call Me Busey is a port barrel-aged and black raspberry-infused sour ale with pronounced raspberry tartness, sour candy character, and a slight caramel finish, or caramel finish. I prefer caramel myself, but I don't know.
That's
what the fuck
very
you
was
like.
that the Gen Con
That's
one,
very
or-
not Midwestern of you.
I know it's not.
Yeah.
I meant to say caramel, but
Yeah.
I got caught up in my
Michigander.
I got caught
Your
up in my
NPR
reading voice.
Yeah. Was that
It's
the
like caramel finish.
is that the Gen Con one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
That was honestly, I will say that is one
It
of
was
my top 10
really
beers.
good.
It was so good.
yeah.
I like a lot of movies we talk about on this podcast. I just wish there was more.
More flavor?
No, with the movie.
Oh,
I wish there was.
oh.
I wish there were more aliens. I wish there was more humor. I think that the Orlando Jones and David Duchovny dichotomy could have really played off of each other better. There's some scenes where they're really good together, but a lot of scenes David Duchovny just comes off as wooden.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not. He's clearly supposed to be the straight man, right? But he turned instead of being the straight man, he's just the wooden man.
Right.
Like he's not.
He's Mokujin.
Yeah, his
Japanese for woodman. I learned that from Tekken.
yes.
All right, continue.
His,
Oh, yeah, that was a character.
his humor's not dry enough.
Agreed.
Unlike the climate of Arizona.
Yeah.
Hey. Finger guns. Finger guns. You guys can't see it, but I'm doing finger guns.
Finger guns.
Yeah, I remember watching the trailer and being like, that movie looks like it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's just not funny for the first 2/3.
Yeah, I mean it hits a few moments that get you to really laugh.
Well,
Yeah,
no, Orlando Jones is funny for the first
Right.
2/3.
But it is just really just a few moments.
Yeah. Right, and that's it for me.
Okay.
Oh, wow. According to the... Sorry to interrupt you, Ryan.
Do it. Do
But,
it up.
so we're back at the Amazon little, like, blurb screen.
Mm-hmm.
And Allison Moore gets... Or, excuse me, Julianne Moore, Allison Reed. Julianne Moore gets fourth billing on the poster. Sean William Scott gets billing before she does. I can't remember the order from the opening credits, but we're not going to hit play
Actually,
again.
I think Orlando Jones got second billing
Yeah.
in the opening credits.
Yeah. He gets third billing according to Amazon.
Yeah, again, he just kind of fell off the radar for Hollywood, and I don't know why that is. I liked him a lot in this movie and in other stuff. I wanted to see more of him just in general. Let's do Brew Again. Brew Again. I'm gonna start with the Southern Tier. Also of the same mind of you guys. I don't like this beer. Weirdly, on the subject of evolution, I find that the longer I let it sit and the warmer it gets, the more I like it. But I still don't like it very much, if that makes any sense. This just doesn't taste appealing to me at all. The grape feels very artificial, and I don't get a lot of the Ghost characteristics that I have grown to love. So yeah, I would not brew again for this one. For the Super Trooper, though, I actually really like that a lot. This is probably the third or fourth time that I've had this beer, and that's not the thing. No, that's fine from Petoskey, but I really like this.
Ryan can gesture appropriately with the appropriate can in his hand.
Right, the appropriate container. But
yeah.
I really like this beer. This is really pleasant. It's nothing that's for me is blowing my socks off, but I genuinely enjoy this beer. The coffee and sweetness balance in this as a brown are really good, and I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually change my. I'm gonna put that as a brew again. Yeah, I mean when I first had it, I was with some people who didn't like it. But no, it's the more I think about it, the more I'm like, it's an interesting brown. It's got a good amount of body to it for a style that's regularly known for being very light and just burnt brown water. Yeah, so no, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I would recommend this beer to other people, and I like it. View again. So mostly aligning with James versus my middle school or high school self. I had a lot of the same feelings, but again, there's the idea of a totally like two separate movies almost, the mitosis of movies, though not being the same on either side of the split. I would like to see this idea explored in a different context.
We
one
don't
that's
need
maybe
two
not
Sean William Scotts.
yeah. No kidding. Maybe explored in a more interesting sci-fi way than this movie does, and one that maybe leans a lot more heavily into the slapstick and silliness of it. But I don't hate this movie, but I don't love this movie.
You're not mad at it.
I'm
you're
very,
just disappointed.
I'm very lukewarm on this one.
It is what it is. That's the description of this episode. It is what it is.
Yeah,
are you in the you're in the total makes you feel bad? Your mom makes you feel bad mode that you're not mad at it. You're just disappointed.
Yeah, kind of. Right.
I've got one little question about this movie for you guys. So if you
sorry,
were to
too late.
say-
Podcast is over. Bye.
Nope. If you were to okay, what genre is this movie?
I think that's the
Sci-fi
problem.
comedy.
It's a sci-fi comedy, but it's not.
But it's kind of bad at both.
It's not both through the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's a sci-fi movie for an hour, and it's a comedy movie for 40 minutes.
And it's kind of interlaced, almost. I don't know.
I want to see it be. It can be both, but it's not both at the same time. It flips over itself a little bit during the mall scene. But after that
might be the I have it written down in my notes like that is like the turning point of the tone of the movie.
Yeah,
it gets a little bit there during the insect probe part.
Yeah, I think the insect probe and the mall scene are probably the best scenes in this movie.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that because you have the exploration of the pit after they've been away for a while.
Yeah,
but have you given nerdy army man due consideration?
Yeah.
As far as this?
What do I have his name down as?
No, and I think that's the movie's biggest problem. If it wants to be a sci-fi movie with a little bit of comedy, it should be a sci-fi movie with a little bit of comedy. But it doesn't end that way. It ends on like solid, consistent comedy notes. But they don't come off correct because you haven't been watching a comedy for the last hour.
Yeah. And if it wants to be tentacle porn with hard science interjections, it can just be that.
Well, I mean, you watch what you want to watch, and I'll watch what I want to watch.
Yeah. I feel like it was trying to go for a Men in
browser
Black.
history right now.
Men in Black tone.
Oh, there's certainly some of that influence here.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, but it doesn't do what Men in Black does.
No,
which is
not at all.
It mixes sci-fi. Men in Black is solid because it mixes sci-fi and comedy through the whole thing.
Yeah.
You find. I mean, in one way, I'll give them this. Orlando Jones's character stays pretty consistent through the whole movie.
Yeah.
And even David Duchovny's character stays pretty consistent through the whole movie. They just put them in situations that are completely different depending on when the movie goes on. And there's no scaling to it at all.
Hmm.
And
if anything, David Duchovny's character has a neat little progression in the fact that he starts off as this very lackadaisical, detached biology teacher who's like, I don't give a fuck about you, I'm giving you an A. And then when you see him get under the pressure, you see him get more involved with science because it's like, this is something on my level and something that I care about.
Right.
But.
And that's an interesting an interesting point. Is it that he's interested in, this discovery and this new thing that's happening because he believes it will bring him back to where he was before and beyond status-wise, or that he's genuinely interested from a scientific point of view?
I think it's generally interested from a scientific point of view because of that one scene where he's like, do you remember when it was just me and you and I found you in that cave? And it's more of him being like, I discovered you and, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So to roll back to that, I think that from that perspective, compared to Men in Black, like, Will Smith's character is pretty consistently funny through the whole movie. Like, his character profile stays the same. And that Orlando Jones' character reminds you of that a little bit. Like, he's funny. Yeah. He has outbursts. Like, he gets angry very quickly through the whole movie. Like, he's there. But he doesn't... Whereas the movie around Will Smith is consistently funny and puts him in situations where he can play off of that and do those things, they don't give Orlando Jones's character that ability to be consistently funny through the movie. He's funny in spite of the things that are going on around him in this movie.
Yes, he's all like he always has a very humorous demeanor to no matter what's
happening. Going on, and that makes you really like his character, but it doesn't. But the rest of the movie doesn't feel like he necessarily belongs in the movie.
I can see that.
Yes, he doesn't. He does not fit in the scenes where the military is present.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's exactly what I'm trying to say. Like,
I'm just like narrowing down like the instances that you mean.
Yeah,
because...
and unpacking it. It's the character that he is the movie that I want to see. Like one where
on the slapstick side of things.
On the slapstick side of things,
right,
where he fits into everything.
Right.
No, I still agree with you, Ryan. I think there's a really cool idea for like a darker sci-fi movie that comes out of this idea of humanity being overrun very quickly by something that they don't take seriously to begin with.
So Stranger Things season 2?
It's just the timeline that this movie implies for the evolution of the alien species is really interesting to me, because this is days, and that's that I think could be a super cool mini series.
Handles that pretty well in an idea from a virus standpoint is Outbreak.
I've seen. Isn't Dustin Hoffman in that?
Yes.
Is that the
it's
one
been a
where
long
they're,
time.
Trapped
but yeah,
in an apartment building or something?
No,
it's with a monkey.
That's the one where Ebola shows up in like a small town.
Yeah.
And starts killing like everybody in the small town in a matter of days.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman.
And so there's from a timeline perspective, that has a like hyper acceleration of danger for a group of people.
I think I watched that in a hotel room on like Mackinac Island when I was growing up.
I watched it as a kid, and it terrified me.
Oh yeah, man. Oof.
Anyway,
note to self for RPGs: hyper-acceleration threats.
And scribble
with my non-existent pen. Okay, well, that's enough of Good Brews, Bad Views for... Damn it, James, you were right. We're going on 110 minutes.
Yes!
As always, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, well, we're 2 minutes shy. Okay, we're 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Carry the one.
Okay. As always, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Podbean, YouTube, WordPress. I think that's about all of them for the time being.
Did you say Facebook?
Yeah, first one I said.
Facebook.
Yep. Send us your hate mail at goodbrewsbadviews@gmail.com. Please let us know if you've watched Get Even, whether or not you listened to the episode or not. We're still basking in the glory of that movie. Will be for the foreseeable future.
It's absolutely transcendental in its terribleness.
Yep. So, well, anyways, again, thank you for joining us, and as always, please watch
and drink
responsibly.
Good night.